Hello, everybody. How are you? It says that we're live on Facebook, but I don't see the stream yet. So I just want to welcome you and say hello. I am Penda James, and I want to welcome you to the Resilience Project. And this is the place where I introduce my friends to my friends. And we talk about the tools that remind us why we are resilient, what we need to do when we forget, and when we need to support each other. This has been an awesome time. I'm so excited to introduce you to Skylarr Nicole Marsh. She is an entrepreneur. She is so wise beyond her years. And so I cannot wait until we get into this conversation. But let me tell you about how we met her. My daddy and her grandma are buddies. They are very close and they work together. But Skylarr and I didn't know each other. And then one day I saw all these people wearing this cool shirt, flourishing in ways only God knew I would. And I wanted one. So I reached out to Skylarr and met her at her grandma's house, picked up my shirt. And that day, I think I was visiting, it was 2 years ago. I was visiting home. And on my way leaving, I hit a curb and was like sitting outside in front of her grandma's house with a flat tire. It was fun times, but she was panicking and I was like, it's fine. You know, I was moving too fast. So just even in our initial interactions, we really support each other. And so Skylarr Nicole, is there something that I didn't share that you want people to know about you?
First, I want to say hello to everybody that is watching, and I also want to thank you for this opportunity. I'm really glad to be here. So one thing that I would say about me that people might not know is that aside from being a student, I have also written a book for millennials, but anybody can read it, and I also own in a jewelry business. So that's what I would say.
These are all awesome things. So let's get right into the conversation. And I want to
Okay.
say, hey, Kiki, thank you for watching. And if you are watching, let us know so we can reach out. You know, we can respond to your questions or your comments or your thoughts. Okay. So a few weeks ago, Skylarr Nicole, you had a post. Well, consistently, you've had posts about people misinterpreting some of your comments or thoughts as a grown woman.
Right.
And so and so I thought it would be appropriate for us to have a conversation so that you as a millennial can share your perspective of what it means to be someone who has made mistakes but understands that those mistakes make you into the woman that you are today. So so my first question to you is, how would you define what a mistake is?
That's a good question. But I would define a mistake as something that happens to us, but something that we're able to not necessarily bounce back from, but to pick ourselves back up from again. And almost like giving us well, we can't give ourselves second chances, but just being in a place where we can realize that we've messed up and we've done wrong, but we don't beat ourselves up or make ourselves feel bad. We just try again to get to the next level or get to the place that we originally need to be.
So you are a curse breaker in your
Okay.
family. You and your brother, right? I saw how you talked about like my brother and I, like we breaking curses over here. And so I want you to give us, me, an understanding of how do you define yourself as a woman?
So now I would say that I define myself as being resilient, independent, and strong. And I say those three things because I think those are key values that everybody should have. But for me, I should say, because those are things that I feel would make me not make me different from everybody else, but it's something that nobody else can give me that I have to find on my own. So I would say that those three things, being independent, strong, and just able to come back from the things that have happened or has made me feel bad, or just situations that I've gone through, like in life in general, I feel like those are the things that help me become who I am.
You are the expert in your own story.
Yes.
And so I love that about you. I love how no matter what the elders,
Right.
what they say. And sometimes I get so frustrated because um I think I think the interesting part of it is for me being married to a pastor, and then for you being like the baby. Like you're
Mhm.
like the baby of your family. So
Right.
so it's kind of like the same level of the level of expectations that people have for us. You
Right.
know, I can't, do certain things or wear my hair a certain way without
Mhm.
somebody saying they don't like it. And the same kind of applies for you because you're the
Right.
baby. So
Pretty much.
how are you defining yourself as a woman and through the mistakes that you're making?
So I would say that I'm defining myself as a woman by first realizing who I am. And I think that is very hard to do, especially like for me or for those who might be my age, because even though we can say, oh, well, I don't really care what such and such has to think about me, it's still going to be some type of thought like, oh, well, I wonder if I should do this, or I wonder if I should do this because such and such may not like it. So now that I'm getting older, I just feel like I'm realizing that the only person that I can be or please is me. So I think that that's what's helping me on my journey to just not trying to be perfect, because nobody is perfect, but just becoming the best version of myself, I should say.
Absolutely. And you have a strong village of women in your life,
Hmm.
who support you, they stand with you, they fight for you,
Right.
and I think that's what makes you so well-rounded
Hmm.
as a woman. So, how has making mistakes and knowing that those mistakes have transformed you been a thread throughout your life?
I believe that my mistakes have been a thread throughout my life because I think they're my mistakes. Like, not saying that everything is going to be good or bad all the time, but I think that sometimes, well, for me, I should say that because I am close to my mom or my grandma and my family, that I just feel like, well, I have felt like, well, these are not my mistakes. These are just something that I just have to go through. So I just think that it's helping me realize that even though I am close to my family, my mom, my grandma, that I have to eventually break off from that or break off from that shell, so then that way I can be able to be the person it is that I'm called to be, I should say.
How are you working
So
to
I think,
go ahead? Go
oh, I'm
ahead,
sorry.
finish your
So I
statement.
was going to say, so in that, I think, okay, so I think in that, I think that my mistakes have helped me realize that even though some may see me as sheltered or spoiled or however people might view me, I still make mistakes, but my mistakes also help me become the person that I want to be.
And so that was going to be my next question. Can you tell us with confidence who is Skylarr
Mhm.
Nicole Marsh and what are some of her dreams and goals?
I would say that Skylarr Nicole Marsh is strong. I would say that I am smart. And I will also say that I'm fearless, but still have fear in some areas. And I say that I'm fearless, but still have fear in some areas is because I do desire to be fearless in the things that I want to do in life, or my goals and my dreams and stuff. But I feel like I still have some things that hold me back from achieving my full purpose, I should say. So I just think that even with that, even with having fear or being scared to just step out and do what God has called me to do, or not necessarily do what I want to do, but just being on a path that the right path I need to go down. I'm not saying that it's going to be perfect, but I think I just recognize the fact that if it's something that I want to do or I feel called to do, that I just have to do it regardless of my fear. So I think that is one of the things that is helping me, um, I would say, grow and not become a better person, but just give me a different insight that fear is what will hold you back from a lot of things in life, so that way you won't be able to, I guess, not necessarily live, but just be who it is that God has called you to be. So I think that that would be part of the things that make me or help me grow into womanhood or transitioning, I should say.
So tell us about some of the things that you do. So you mentioned that you're an author, but you also, you have a jewelry business, and
Yeah.
the name She's Cultured by Design. So can you talk a little bit about how those
Mhm.
parts of you strengthen who you are as a woman?
Okay, yes. So with the book, it's called OMG Operating as a Millennial with God.
Let us
And
see it.
okay, it's right here.
Okay.
And I wrote this book when I was 18, and then it was published when I was 19. So during the book writing process, it wasn't necessarily easy, but I feel like now when I look back to just go back and read some of the things that I've written in the book, or when somebody says, "Oh, remember when you wrote about such and such," and I go back to read it, I think that now I didn't realize the mindset that I had when I was writing the book versus what I've had now. Even though I was led through the book, I was led to write the book, and I feel like I was guided through the words. Um, the whole process was leading me to what was helping me lead me to the person that I feel like I am now. Because that was a really big step for me, writing a book. Like, I kept saying that I wanted to do it, and it was never any like holdbacks or fear about it until it was actually time to do it. So I think with writing a book, that was one of my biggest eye openers in opening up who I am. Because before, not saying that the book just magically just like, oh, okay, well, here she is, but I feel like it played a part in me knowing who I am, because that's just what I was led to do. And it wasn't any stuttering or stattering about, being scared. And now that I look back on it, I just think that I just try to have that same power or that same resilience just to keep going, I should say, with writing the book.
And you are a woman of strong faith.
Okay.
And I think through She's Culture by Design, which is your jewelry business, you are inspiring and encouraging women of color. So, and collaborating with other people to help their dreams become reality by putting their logos and their slogans on your jewelry. So, how did you come up with that name, She's Culture by Design?
Okay, so actually one day I was over my cousin's house, and we were trying to figure out different names for the jewelry business. I knew I wanted to start one, but I just wasn't exactly sure. I didn't know what the name would be, because I don't really think I'm good at naming stuff, but I think that's nice. So the way I come up with the name, I was happened to be scrolling through Instagram, and a lady had made a post just talking about how cultured she was. So as I went back, just looking at my pictures and just looking at some of my culture, and then I just happened to think she's cultured then by design. So I knew that I wanted to do earrings, so that's where the by design came from the design of the earrings. And then the she's culture, I was just thinking back on me and my family and my culture. And I just thought of she's culture, like she's culture, meaning everything that's a part of me or the person that's wearing the earrings, because I try to make cultural stuff that represent us. And then by design, just meaning the design that's going into it to just make everybody feel comfortable and unique in their culture and in themselves as well.
I see you with your t-shirt on. Can you show us your shirt?
Yeah, yes.
Look
This
how
is
beautiful that is. I need a shirt though. Are you going to expand your t-shirt line?
yes. I'm trying to get it together now. I have so a few of the She Culture by Design shirts, so I'm working on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that in a hoodie though.
Okay, okay.
I love
I
that.
never did
Yeah,
even.
I need that in a hoodie.
Thank you.
So
Okay.
what do you want people to know about making mistakes and using those mistakes to shape you as a woman?
So I would say that first, that's really a good question. Okay, I would say that what you learn from your mistakes make you like they make you become the person that you want to be, or it's something that you need to learn through it. And then sometimes I don't think of things as a mistake, even though they are mistakes, even though we all make mistakes. Sometimes I don't think of everything as a mistake because some things need to happen just so that we can learn from them or grow from them or get whatever lesson it is that we need out of them. So I just think from my mistakes or the things that I've done or the things that have happened, I just look at it as building me up to be who it is that I'm called to be. Even though I might not see it or I might feel bad, I try not to feel bad or feel low about mistakes. And I also feel like I try to encourage other people not to feel bad about their mistakes as well, because ultimately it's just all helping us grow into the person that we need to be, that we're called to be. And I also feel like sometimes until some things happen, we don't grow. Like we just stay stagnant or in our comfort zone. And that doesn't get us anywhere either. So I just think that our mistakes genuinely just help us, even though we might not see it.
So, Skylarr Nicole, I need you to look into the camera and I need you to talk to a young lady who is
Mhm.
18, 19, early 20s, and she's made mistakes. She feels unforgiven. She feels like what she's done is going to prevent her from becoming the woman that God has called her to be.
Mhm.
What would you say being on the other side of that? What would you say to her?
First, I would tell her that she is forgiven and not to be down. Don't beat yourself up about anything it is that you've done. And that even though we make mistakes, even though you feel unforgiven, unloved, however insecure, whatever feeling you might feel, I think I just want everybody to know, or the women or the young women my age or younger, to just know that it's okay to get back up again. And even if you don't have anybody to encourage yourself, to encourage you, you just have to know that you can encourage yourself as well. And just to let everybody know that everybody has somebody that's for them. It might not be the person that's there with them right now, but eventually I feel, and not even just with younger women, but I feel like with everybody has somebody that's for them, that's meant for them, to encourage them, to help them, to strengthen them, and to build them up. And even if you don't have that person in this moment, then I think it's important to also find it in yourself as well.
And I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
In our prep, we talked about how you are the bridge, because you're so close with your grandmother, and then your mom is above you, and then
Mhm.
you're the youngest of that generation. Well, what would you say to some of the adults who look down on young people who make mistakes or who try and don't hit that mark that certain people want them to hit, what would you say to them to be softer or to be more compassionate or even to bring them along and help them, teach them?
I think my word for that would be grace. Because everybody is granted grace, and I think that with most people in the older generation versus the younger generation, I do feel like it is a gap or a disconnect. So because of that, I don't really think that those of the younger generation, or millennials, I should say, get enough grace or enough understanding when we do make mistakes. So to those of the older generation, I would just say, like I said, just giving everybody grace. Not saying that if somebody is, acting wild, that you just let them be. But also, I feel like if you want us to change, or if you want to see a change in the youth or the young community, that because you've been our age before, you've been through most of the things that we've been through, I think that you should help us to figure out what it is that we need to do to not necessarily get to the next level, but just become a better version of ourselves. Because I feel like now some young people don't know like what to do, because they may not have any guidance or even understanding on how to not necessarily do wrong, but just like, okay, I gotta pick myself up again and start over. So I would just say to the older generation, just give us a little bit more grace to work it out.
I love talking to you, Skylarr Nicole. Thank you so much. I know you were nervous, but you
Yes.
did an amazing job. I want you to come back and I want you to watch this because I know we
Okay.
talked a little bit about you have your ideas for your next book. So I need you to listen to the wisdom nuggets that you dropped in this conversation. You are so
Okay.
wise beyond your years. And I think, that's because you have such strong women around you. Shout out to Miss Johnny.
Yes.
Love Miss Johnny. Shout out to Miss Johnny, and to your mom and your writing coach. Like you have so many people around you who are pouring into you, and in turn you are pouring back out to other people. So I appreciate you for that. I thank you for doing that.
Yes.
And so you let me know if there's ever anything I can do to support you. You
Mhm.
let me know, girl. I'm in your village.
Okay, thank you. I hope the interview went well. I was a little nervous.
It's we not interviewing, we just having a conversation. So I need you to
Conversation.
tell
Okay.
everybody how to reach you. Lady Vanessa Bradfield says hi, Skylarr.
Hi.
Um, I want you to let people know how they can reach you, how they can connect with you if they want to purchase some jewelry or if they want jewelry wholesale for their business or their nonprofit, and how can they buy their book if they want to book you to come and speak for them.
Okay.
How can they
Okay.
get ready? Like
Okay.
you were about
Okay.
to be international in Africa, but
Yes. COVID hit us and we
COVID
couldn't
hit us.
go, but it's okay.
See yourself beyond. Like you're so humble and so soft spoken, but honey, you are a powerhouse.
Okay. Okay.
You
Thank
a
you.
powerhouse. So
Thank
I'll be your
you.
armor bearer. I'll carry your bags for you if you take me to Africa.
Okay. We're gonna work on it because
I'll
I
get your
still want to
water.
go.
I'll do whatever, because I fight for you in the spirit. Sometimes when I see some of your reactions to how people are responding to you, there's a righteous indignation that rises up in me. Like, don't be messing with Skylarr Nicole now. Who is it?
I understand.
Like that's how I be feeling. Like, who
I
is
understand. I
so that's why
understand.
I wanted to give you the opportunity to speak for yourself, and because you are a entrepreneur, you're a businesswoman, you're a scholar, you're a missionary, like you're a woman who has made mistakes. And those mistakes have made you into the woman that you are. So tell them how they can reach you, how they can find you, and then we will let the people go.
Okay. Okay. So my name on Facebook is under Skylarr. And for earrings, it's just under She's Culture by Design. So you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. And then for the book is on Amazon under the OMG Operating as a Millennial with God. Or you can just send me an inbox and then I can ship it to you.
Signed copies, yes. So please come
Yes.
into the comments. You didn't have a lot of questions today, but people may come back and put questions in the chat. So Skylarr Nicole will be in here. She'll put her contact information in the comments, and you all connect with her. Buy some earrings.
Yes. Buy some earrings, buy a book.
Buy a book. I'm gonna get my hoodie.
Yes, a
This my
t-shirt.
t-shirt, flourishing in ways only God knew I would. So
Yes,
yeah, let's pour into Skylarr Nicole so she can pour into other people, because that is the type of woman that she is. Thank you all so much for joining us. This has been the Resilience Project. I'm Penda James, and I'm a scribe coach. So what I do is I assist people to get unstuck, execute their goals, and inscribe their legacy. I want you to get your journals. If you need a journal to write in, I have one here. First Lady Skylarr. It is a journal that you can write this declaration. I have made mistakes, but they have made me into the woman I am today. Thank you all again for watching.
Thank you. See you later. Love you too.